Just picked some coconuts from our dwarf trees,
Yeah.
and I'm just cleaning some up for Lindy. She's going to do something for lunch with coconut.
Nice one. Oh wow. So why is this particular one yellow?
So this one here is slightly young.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone brown yet. So when they brown like that, they're fully mature. So this one here is slightly green.
Yeah.
But I can hear the water rattle in there, so it would be like probably 90% mature.
Oh, good one.
I entered a competition, husking competition in Cooktown.
Yeah.
There was about 6-7 blokes.
Yeah.
One Islander lady, and she won.
She won.
She won the
Yay
competition.
for the ladies.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me you won.
No.
You got beaten by a lady.
I like to say that ladies are great at many things.
Yeah.
So it was great to be bitten by a woman, the only woman there.
Yeah.
And so I just put that for safety so no one falls on it.
Yeah. We might come and have a look around this area here. I've never seen this sort of part of your garden. Do you want to just take us for a little bit of a walk and just talk about your property? So how many trees were here when you first got here?
From here to the street,
Yeah.
it was just bare ground.
Wow.
It was very compacted clay,
Yeah.
and the soil was so hard that I couldn't dig the hole to plant the trees in, even with a sharp pick.
Oh wow.
So I could only dig a hole about 2 inches deep,
Yeah.
and so I ended up planting the trees by pulling them out of their pot, putting them on the ground, and just putting loose soil around them. I got a truckload of garden mix,
Yeah.
so it was a lot easier to do it that way than try and dig a hole. I would have had to use a jackhammer. I couldn't do it with a hand tool to dig a hole deep enough.
And look at this now. So
now the soil has transformed.
Yeah.
There's lots of birds now because of the trees, and it's lovely and cool, and everything feeds itself now.
Yeah.
Initially I just mulched the whole area,
Yeah.
put gypsum down, some cow manure,
Yeah.
and crushed the dust, which is very rich in minerals.
Yeah.
And I only did that first 12 months, and since then I haven't done a thing here. And as you can see, it maintains itself, self fertilizes by all the leaves that drop down.
Yeah.
So all I do is just give this area a bit of water every so often.
Great. And because they're native, they only need that water to start with, and then you don't need to sort of keep giving them that water.
They probably would survive without any water at all.
Yeah.
But because I got a lot of ground covers, understory plants,
Yeah.
they need more water, so I give them a bit of water mainly to keep them nice and green.
Yeah, and I see that you just do a bit of a chop and drop system, especially over here actually. So that sort of retains the water, doesn't it?
I don't remove anything except for maybe big logs. I use them for fire.
Yeah.
But smaller branches, I just throw them back.
Yeah.
So everything's recycled. Even what I take away, I use in the fire.
Yeah.
Especially in the winter time, when this winter was quite cool.
Yeah.
So this area where there's big trees, there's a ponciana, a tamarind, and 5 huge mango trees, about 100 years old.
Yeah.
Only last year I started planting some fruit trees that naturally grow in the forest, so they love this environment.
And you can see, so where you've got the posts, and then all on the bottom you've got the ground cover to sort of hold that in. And what sort of fruit trees are they?
That one there is yellow mangosteen.
Yeah. Lovely.
There's a gramichama over there that's loving it in a lot of shade.
Which one's that one?
A gramichama.
What's that?
It's a very sweet little black fruit.
Wow.
That comes from Central America originally.
Yeah.
And here's a different type of mangosteen, which also thrives in a lot of shade.
Yeah.
And there's a mammy sapote, also does well in the shade.
Yeah.
This one here is a local plant. Is a Davidson plum. That naturally grows in the forest. It's an understory tree.
So in order to get enough nutrients and everything for the fruit trees, that's why the ground cover's here as well, to sort of put back in to get those vitamins and minerals into the fruit?
Well, I'm just copying nature.
Yeah.
The way nature gardens is just by recycling everything. So everything that grows here stays here, the leaves, the branches, like around the mango tree.
Yeah.
I hipped it up with branches, and then nearly all broken down just over 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And that was a big pile of branches,
Yeah.
and that's all nearly all broken down now.
Yeah, great.
So as long as there's constant organic matter, dead organic matter here, the microbes are happy, the earthworms are happy, the fungi is active,
Yeah.
and nature just does the thing.
And you can see, I love it. It's so beautiful. There's not one space with anything there. It's all just yeah, full of nutrients and good stuff for the soil. It's all natural.
Well, the moment there is space, nature will grow something there,
Yeah.
and it's usually weeds.
Yeah.
So what I do is I choose the weeds that I want to grow. I choose the
right.
plants that some of them is for their beauty,
Yeah.
some of them is for because they're edible. One of my challenges when I started growing organically was weeding, keeping the weeds down.
Yeah.
So I started experimenting with different ground covers to see which ones would suppress the weeds.
Yeah.
And I tried about 4 or 5 different ones, and this is the one that came out on top
Yeah.
because it doesn't need much water, it doesn't need much fertilizer,
Yeah.
and it suppresses the weeds really well, as you can see. There's
It
no
does.
weeds. I haven't done any weeding there for about 10 years.
And then the soil is absolutely amazing, isn't it? You can see all the little bugs and everything. So that's created its own little microbes and ecosystem under there. Wow. Oh, cool. And you've done that under each of your trees, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do my best to create a balance.
Yeah.
So the way to grow healthy plants is not, or keep the bugs away, is not use. Some people ask me, oh, what do you use for bugs? They're hoping that I can tell them
Quick fix.
a quick fix, that just a magic spray and the bugs don't come in.
Yeah.
But I use many different things. The ponds that you've seen near the house,
Oh, yeah.
they breed frogs all year round. At
Yeah.
the moment, there's a lot of tadpoles in there.
Yeah.
So the frogs breed in there, and then they scatter themselves around the garden. So there's lots of times when we pick vegetables, we find little frogs amongst them.
Yeah.
So that's another form of control. My main bug control is green ants.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look here,
Oh, wow.
there's a green ant highway there.
Oh, yeah.
And there's
look
green
at
ants.
that.
And there's green ants coming over to these little mango tree here,
Yeah.
which is fruiting at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm only guessing why they're coming over here is because the fruit spotting bug that I was telling you about,
Yeah.
they love fruits when they're about this size.
Ah, right.
And if I had no green ants
Yeah.
and I didn't control the fruit spotting bug in some other way,
Yeah.
I could lose
All of
maybe
it.
80% of the crop. And I experienced that when I was in the previous property.
Yeah.
Before I knew what the fruit spotting bug was doing, and before I had green ants, I would lose up to 80-90%, not all the trees, but some of the trees, mangoes, white sapote, a lot of different fruits. I've tried different materials to different ropes and strings, and most of them break down in the sun.
Yeah.
And I've come across this one here, which is electric tape,
Oh, yeah.
and it stands, it lasts a long time out in the elements.
Yeah.
And I like it that it's got the black line through it, so it's
It's like a real highway,
they
isn't it?
they don't have to have any crashes.
They
The green ants,
don't.
they can travel on the left, on the right, whatever their chief says that the rule is.
Wow.
And it works really well. And I got it around the pawpaws here. What they do with the pawpaws is they check for the fruit spotting bug.
Oh, yeah.
This tree
there's a few there.
hasn't been affected very much, but you can actually see this leaf here. It hasn't grown to its normal size. So you see there's a defect there. That's been stung by the fruit spotting bug.
Ah.
So if you get enough fruit spotting bug on a pawpaw tree,
Yeah.
it stunts its growth,
Oh.
or it can actually kill it. If you observe green ants in the tropics, they always travel, if they do travel on the ground, they travel along a hose. If you've got a hose,
Oh, okay.
they'll travel along a hose.
Yeah.
They travel along fences.
Yeah.
So they don't like the soil,
Yeah.
getting about on the soil, because there's other ants, and they could be taken by other ants.
Yeah.
So that's why I I put this green ant highways,
Yeah.
and it's also the quickest way for them to get from one tree to the other.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Wow. I can smell coffee. Do you have coffee tree?
Well, you can't smell it on my breath because I haven't drank coffee for many years.
Yeah.
But lately I've been collecting all the coffee grounds.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them, but from a few different coffee outlets. I've been using it on the compost.
Yeah.
So we put a layer, all our kitchen scraps, which we get a lot of,
Yeah.
all the fruit scraps and vegetable scraps,
Yeah.
we put down, and then we put a layer of these leaves around over the top, and then a layer of coffee. The main reason why I like it is because it's quite acid. I tested the pH and it's about 5.5.
Oh yeah.
And it's only a few acid-loving plants.
Oh yeah.
So the aim is to get a more acid or lower pH compost.
Yeah.
And the only plants that that thrive on an acid soil is they're over there in that garden. So the pineapples are loving it.
Oh, it's pineapple.
And I tried growing azaleas before.
Yeah.
And there's a red one over there.
Oh yeah.
And they always died on me.
Yeah.
Because the pH wasn't right.
So they need that acidic
And now I've got
soil.
azaleas thriving.
Yeah.
Got a few even blueberries. Blueberries love it acid. So that's a blueberry there. It's just starting to flower now.
Yeah. And strawberries, do they like a lot of acid too?
And the strawberries also don't mind acid soil.
Yeah.
So
I love strawberries. Is this one
so
ready?
that one's ripe enough.
Is
you
it?
can pick that one.
He looks like he's still got a little bit longer to go.
Quite a few there.
Oh yeah. I'll leave them there. We'll have some later.
This is a structure that I created for the solitary native bees.
Oh wow.
And they use these holes here for
Nesting.
for laying their eggs, for breeding.
Yeah.
And this one here,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the sugar bag bee, which creates a colony and they make honey, they love nesting inside bricks.
Oh, okay.
So I've made a little hole there,
Yeah.
and hopefully they'll
there.
like it, and they'll create a new colony in there.
Oh, great. And do you plant plants around the place to feed the bees, or
I
is there enough? Yeah.
I do. I want to keep as many bees on the property as possible.
Yeah.
And one is by creating a nesting site for them.
Yeah.
And the other one is by planting basil.
Oh yeah.
2 types of perennial basil that I plant for them.
Yeah.
And they flower all year round. So that gives the bees food all year round.
Yeah.
And so if they come to feed here, well then I think it's easy for them to move on to fruit trees that are flowering or vegetables.
Right. Yeah.
So we've got quite a few hives of the sugar bag bee, native bee.
Oh yeah.
And also we got a lot of solitary bees.
What's this one? Is that a mango tree?
This is a 100-year-old mango tree.
Wow.
So I built a tree house here and a swing here.
Can we go up?
This is a playground for children. So we're children today.
Yay! I'm gonna go up. Oh wow, this is so cool. So you built this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it still producing mangoes?
Yes, produces lots of mango.
Are you coming up too? Is it going to hold up?
But this mango is what I do normally every year is thousands of mangoes drop.
Yeah.
I just rake them up, and just underneath, we don't have to shift them too far.
Yeah.
I make compost.
Yeah.
And I use the layers of mangoes as a nitrogen layer, and then I put some carbon material, some dry grass or wood chip, something like that.
Great. It's like walking the plank, isn't it? Oh wow. You need a little swimming pool down the bottom. I might go on the swing, hey? It's a great little tree to have a cubby house in. I'm going on this one. Maybe you can give me a push, Michael.
My granddaughter, when I give her a ride, she just says higher and higher.
Higher!
Her back goes almost up to the mango branch over there, and she still wants to go higher.
I love swings. Well, thank you. Thanks so much for the opportunity. It was great to see you again, and you're doing amazing things in your garden. Oh wow, I could stay on here all day. All right, now you have to stop me. Oh, you've done that before. Oh, well,
I've got
thank
plenty
you.
of practice with the grandchildren.
Give me one of your heart-to-heart hugs. Oh, you're a good man. Thanks, Michael. Thank you. We'll see you soon, hey?
Yeah, hopefully, and
Yeah.
all the best.
Yeah, thank you.